Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nobody wants its own absence, and mind is not an exception. Therefore, for its own survival, the mind will start suggesting new ideas. Okay? And the ideas are such that the mind survives on those new ideas. If you are comfortable at home, no problem, no worries, no nothing, then the mind will say, why not we change the furniture arrangements? And you are busy. After that you are finished, then again you are sitting. I think we should go to Honolulu. And this is how the mind keeps us busy and occupied. Therefore, this mind is making us run throughout the world. Naga Nagara Durga Durgama Saritaha Paritaha Paribhrame Chetaha Yadi no labhate Vishayam Vishaya Tantri Miva Khinnamayati. Naga, mountains, Nagara, the various cities, various places, various rivers, all the places the mind thinks of going here and there. And Yadino Labhate Vishayam, and for what we have gone, if we do not get that, then Vishayantri, as if he is intoxicated by some poison, and then he starts behaving and becomes extremely miserable. Therefore, Mano Nigraha, control over the mind, is essential thing. Therefore, Nigraha, control. It has got two aspects. One aspect is the mind has to be disciplined. To keep the mind disciplined, there has to be something for what you are dedicated to. Anything you take, like studies, scriptures, or learning something. So when we are bound to something higher, then the mind is automatically channelized in that direction. Otherwise, mind will think, there is nothing to do, why not go and have a movie, there is nothing to do, why not go for a picnic. This is how the mind has to be disciplined, and then the mind has to be educated. So, our activities must be disciplined activities. I received one SMS just before coming. If people laugh at you because you are too disciplined, don't worry about them. Because it is the discipline which will come to your help, not the people in the long run. Therefore, first is discipline. Second is education. For educating the mind, studies of the lives of the great masters is one of the most essential aspects of life. When we study the lives of the great masters, we get many ideas, we get many directions. Simply leading a good life, I am living a very nice life, a pious life, I give in charity, I don't talk ill of others, blah blah. That is not enough. It is something like this. One student was told by his mother, now enough is enough. Exams are coming. Stop watching TV, stop going on internet surfing, no games, no nothing. I said, okay mom, he stopped. And he failed in the examination. The mother said, how come you failed? Mom, whatever you told, I did exactly, word by word. Did you study? You didn't tell me. So what is not to be done, it is not enough. See? And therefore, in addition to this, One has to be inspired all the time. Then we will come to know all the great masters have gone through the same type of situation in which you and me are now. There is nothing new. We feel that today is the worst time of the world. No, it is not. In this manner, when we are thus controlling means disciplining and educating the mind, then the mind may cooperate for something higher. And yet, another verse, the teacher says, Tumbi phalam jalantar balad adaha kshiptam api urdhvam ayati sadvan manaha swarupe nihitam yatnat bahiryati. Tumbi phalam, a dry pumpkin, when it is dried and you try to push it down inside the water with all your force, the moment the force is lifted, immediately it comes out. In the same manner, the mind, whatever you may try to focus it on the self, on the reality, yet it will again and again come out. Therefore, never give a chance to the mind. And it is here the discipline comes into play. Iha va purva bhaveva swakarmana eva arjitam phalam yadyat shubham ashubham va tat bhogo aprarthito bhavati. Now the mind is being educated. Whatever good or bad things come in our life in the form of the bhoga, for that we are squarely responsible and nobody is responsible for that. And therefore, iha va purva bhaveva, either in this life or in the earlier life, whatever swakarmana arjitam phalam, whatever karma we have done, the result of that karma alone comes in our life. That is what they call it, Runanubandha. Two persons never come together as an accident. They come together to sort out the debts that each one of is having with other. So if you have got a child with a big problem, then understand you have mismanaged the accounts in the last life, therefore that fellow is with you. Exactly the same way. And the net result of this thing will be what? We will stop blaming the world. When we stop blaming the world, then we have become self-oriented. And till such time we keep blaming the world, mind is alive. Because the world is nothing but our own mind. So shubham ashubham va tat bhogo api aprarthitaha. Whether we want or we don't want, it has to come, it will come, nobody can stop. One person was told, he was Shivalinga brand. Do you know Shivalinga brand? Totally bad. So he was told by the astrologer that you are going to die by getting a hit on your head. So be careful all the time. So he was thinking what to do. Finally he went in the desert. Not even a tree should be there. He needs to move around in the desert. And one vulture carried one huge bone which it can't break. So what they do, from above they see where is the stone and they throw it. And when that bone falls with such a great height and great force, it breaks. And then the vulture takes the bone marrow out of it. So the stone was going. And from above, that thing fell and he died. Therefore, friends, don't worry about what is going to happen, etc. In the presence of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Abhimanyu died. He was very much in front of him. Therefore, do not have too much concern over these little things. And we are not going to be ending our life. We continue the next life. There is nothing wrong in that. Chetaha pashum ashubham patam pradhavamanam nirakartum. Now, if we want to, this animal that the mind is, See, Pashu means Pashyati iti Pashu, na thinkati. The one who doesn't think, only beautiful flower bed, go and eat. Buffaloes will never go and think about something else. Only bhog. See? Therefore, Chetaha Pashum Ashubham Patham Pradhavamanam Nirakaratum. If we want to withdraw, turn the direction of our animal mind from its own extrovert search, Vairagyam Ekam Uchitam Galakashtam Nirmitam Dhatra. Dhatra, by the God, the Creator, He created one very nice technique. Now here, those who have not gone in the villages, they won't know. You know, in the villages what happens? There are some animals, bullocks or buffaloes or cows. They are very, very rogue animals. You can't control them. So what they do, the villagers, they tie down a very big log of wood in their neck. And as a result, that animal cannot run because the log of wood will be coming in their feet and they can't run. They can't go here and there. In the same manner, for the animal that our mind is, for controlling this animal mind, the only galakashtam, the wooden log that can be tied is Vairagyam evam uchitam. So the galakashta, the wooden log in the neck, is only Vairagya, and unless we have dispassion for the worldly things and beings, there is no possibility of spiritual evolution. Two things, the don'ts and the do's. Only don'ts are not enough. Do's are also required. So don'ts are that Vairagyam, and do's are, in the subsequent chapters will come, the self-inquiry. So first, Vairagyam eva uchitam galakashtam nirmitam dhatra. Now what is the meaning of Vairagya? There are many aspects. We will take few of them, rest homework. First aspect of Vairagya is not opposed to Rag. Opposed to Rag is Dvesha, hatred. We are not talking about hatred. Number one. Number two, Vairagya is that we don't have to throw the things and run away, but stop interacting with those things and beings which create disturbances in your mind. For example, if you see sweets and if you like it very much, but you have to control because your weight is becoming worse than a mini elephant. Therefore, the doctor has told that if you don't stop, we will have to call a crane to take you to the graveyard. Okay, then you stop it. No. With your own freedom. This freedom is given to us. Therefore, Vairagya aspect is, the moment you see that sweets trouble you, don't go near that, that's it. Don't look at it. Okay? Otherwise, we become victim of our own weaknesses. Second thing, if there is somebody, and this is in everybody's life, there is nothing wrong in that, this is the manufacturer's defect. There are some people with whom our chemistry does not match. There is nothing wrong, there is no hatred, there is no love, there is no nothing. But the chemistry doesn't match. See, like for example, if I take milk products continuously for 3-4 times in a day, within 2-3 days my whole system gets upset. So I have some kind of mild allergy towards milk. Therefore I don't take the milk. But does it mean that I have any hatred for the milk? The idea is, I must protect myself. So what is Vairagya? Vairagya is protect yourself from the world and protect yourself from yourself. These two things put together is Vairagya. Now the next aspect of the Vairagya is never try to get involved in anybody's life, particularly husband and wife. This I learned the very difficult way. Many years. I was in 20s probably that time, and I had a neighbor, husband and wife. They were Christians, Presbyterians, and very good friends. And one evening, this fellow came drunk, and he was assaulting his wife. So she shouted, Sadhu Baba, he used to call me Sadhu Baba. Sadhu Baba, please come see what he is doing. So I ran, because next door. And he was throttling him, so I separated. And after his spirituality was over, everything was over. Next day morning, I just wanted to see before going out, how are the things. They were sitting on a sofa, hugging each other. I said, hey, how are the things? Who have asked you to come? Go. I said, hey Krishna, you have given me the best result. So when husband and wife fight, don't be a victim of their fight. Watch from a distance. At the most, if you have to participate, go with a tabla. And play tabla. Jugalbandi. Then only Vairagya is being practiced. Otherwise we feel, see, I have done so much, I was telling them only for their good, I had no bad intention, but both of them kicked me out. Why did you go? If you stand behind a donkey and complain that donkey is kicking me, it is not his fault, it is your fault. You have gone to a wrong place, Vairagya. Now after this is that, now the deeper aspect. This is physical aspect I spoke. Second aspect is that we have no business to praise or condemn anybody in this world. What I am telling you is from Srimad Bhagavad Mahapurana. There Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells Uddhavji this ultimate advice. When you are moving in this world, the first thing he says to Uddhavji, don't stay in one place. They say rolling stone doesn't gather moss as well as mass. One has to keep moving. Charai veti, charai veti. Now the second thing is, Uddhavji is told, when you are moving around in the world, do not appreciate anybody or condemn anybody. Do not label or evaluate anybody. Do not suggest anything to anyone. All these things having said, then he says, because when we get involved with anybody on any issue, we have given a status of reality to that person, to that thing. Like in the dream, if we come across a drunkard who was, hitting us, and when the dream is over, will we go and complain to the police the drunkard was killing me? No. In the same manner, we have to devalue this world. That is the only way. Because whatever we have given value to, that alone becomes the source of our miserable existence in this world. Therefore, chetaha pashu ashubham patham pradavamanam nirakartum vairagyam ekam uchitam galakashtam nirmitam dhatra. Dhatra, the creator, has created this galakashtam called as vairagya. Now, the teacher substantiates this by analyzing our experience. Nidra vasare yat sukham etat kim vishayajam. Nidra samaye, nidra avasare. In the deep sleep, every one of us experience joy, bliss. Kim etat sukham vishayajam. Is that happiness born out of or contact with the worldly objects through the sense organs? It cannot be. Because what is the nidra? Nahi chet indriya pradeshavasthanam chetasa nidra. The mind is no more leaking out of the sense organs. Then only it is called as deep sleep. In deep sleep, our contact with the subtle body and the gross body is zero. And yet we experience bliss. And therefore, the happiness that we all experience in the deep sleep is not born out of our contact with the sense objects through the sense organs. And therefore, Advara Turanga Kudde Gruhe Avaruddho Yatha Vyagraha Bahu Nirgama Prayatnaihi Shranta Tishtati Patanga Shvashta Tatha Sarvendriya Avarodhat Udyoga Shataihi Anirgamam Viksham Shantam Tishtati Chetaha Nirudyamatvam Tadayati. One example is given. If a tiger is confined in a hall without any opening, he will struggle to go out here and there, and afterwards all his effort will fail and he will simply sit quiet. He can do nothing. Exactly the same way, when our mind is no more allowed to go out through the sense organs, just get this point. To enjoy the world, we go out of our house through the doors or the windows. Exactly the same way, the mind goes out through the sense organs, etc. If the sense organs, pratyahara, they are controlled and stopped, the mind cannot go out. That is why, we all unknowingly know that when we want to sit for meditation, first thing we do is close our eyes. The reason is, we all know that the mind goes out through the sense organs. And therefore, Sarva Indriya Avarodhat Udyogo Shataihi Ati Nirgamam Viksha. So when all the faculties are closed, then whatever efforts we may put, the mind will see that it cannot go out. Then Shantam Tishtati Chetaha. The mind starts remaining quieter and quieter. So what is Vairagya therefore? Vairagya is Tasmatvam Indriyani Adav Niyamya Bharatarshava Papmanam Prajanihena Jnana Vijnana Nashinam. Desire starts functioning first at the level of the sense organ, then it attacks the mind, ultimately it conquers the intellect. Tasmat, therefore, Tam Indriyani Adav Niyamya. Therefore, start your Vairagya practice from the sense organs and organs of action. Now, what is the beginning point, sir, for us? Only one beginning point, and that is the tongue plus rasana. Rasana is the organ of taste, and tongue is the organ of speech. We have to control this. Eating and talking. And this becomes a habit after some time. See? Therefore, never encourage anybody asking you questions, and don't ask anybody any question. Once I was in somebody's house, and very nice people, nothing wrong. From morning onwards, so many questions. Swamiji, what time shall I get tea for you? I say, okay, get it 7 o'clock. Swamiji, should I get a biscuit for you? Yeah, okay, take biscuit. They should be sweet or she's okay, get one. Swamiji, do you take hot water or cold water? Cold water. Swamiji, do you like fruits? Fruits I like. Do you take milk? And do you take jalebi? Because Arey Ram, chup. I don't want anything. How many questions? See? And these questions, we have trained our mind. Therefore, leave me alone. That was the only thing that the self is telling. who find enough of going out. So, first control the tongue and also control the rasana, the tasting organ. You have done a great favor to yourself. Pranaspan. Now up to here, we have seen, now this in few words if we have to summarize, any organ who is not allowed to function in its own field, after some time that organ loses its functional ability. This is the simple rule. Therefore, if you stop talking, after some time the mind will start remaining quiet. Now the one person wrote me 7-8 times. I told him, I don't read your emails, don't write. Swamiji, I heard you told that, stop talking to yourself. But how to stop talking to myself, please tell. What can you tell? Talk. See? You find out something yourself. Spiritual practice is not asking questions. Spiritual practice is analyzing your own experiences and learning from them. That is spiritual practice. See? Therefore, the study groups and discussion groups, it is only a market. It has no meaning in that. The one who has got a long tongue, he will swap everybody. See? Be quiet. Analyze your experience. That this morning I was disturbed. Find out what was the reason. Then you will come to know, last night I had no good sleep. Now what was the reason for that? Oh, the stomach was upset. Very good. Now what was the reason for stomach upset? I have taken more than normal condition. So learn. Before going to sleep, eat less. You are walking a spiritual path. This is the only way. There is nothing who can help us in life. See? Therefore, after having learned this, now Bhagavan Shankaracharya gives us a thumb rule. There are 4 things to be practiced as a spiritual practice. Pranaspanda nirodhat, number 1. Satsangat, number 2. Vasana tyagat, number 3. And Hari Charana Bhakti Yogat, number 4. These are the 4 spiritual practices to be sincerely practiced in life. First, Pranaspanda nirodhat. Spend some time without doing anything and without going to sleep. And that time, observe. If you feel that, in this time I can do that job also, why should I waste my time? Understand you are caught up under the influence of the mind. Learn to waste time intelligently. So sit down 10 minutes. 10 minutes, nothing to do, nowhere to go. When you thus practice, you will clearly experience pranaspanda, the activities of the prana, they become bare minimum. This is how the frog enters the hibernation. Life is there. Frog doesn't die. But it enters hibernation. So first is pranaspanda nirodhanam. So don't get involved into too much of agitated things in life. Watching the terrible news or watching too much of argument, logic, and the discussion panels on the TV. But he should not have that. Let them do it. You don't get involved. If you want to watch TV, watch Animal Planet. How the fish is moving. And keep yourself occupied. That's it. Anything that will create agitations in the mind, protect yourself from that. One of the most important spiritual practices. Prana Spanda Nirodhanam. Many people, they see the late night movies. And they are all terrible movies. And after seeing those terrible movies, when they go to sleep, in the dream only that thing only comes. Oh, last night I had a terrible dream. What happened? Oh, a terrorist came and he started killing. But that's what you must have seen in the news. So the same thing comes. Prana Spanda Nirodhana. Be attentive. How much care we take about our food. We have stopped eating food. We talk only calories and cholesterol. We have stopped thinking about health, but only weight. But what efforts we are taking or putting forth for taking care of the health of the mind. So to keep the mind healthy, first thing is, let our involvement in this world be to the minimum. What is there required to do that, not beyond it. Prana Spanda Nirodhanam. Because prana and the activities of prana, that directly influence the mind. It is something like this. You are standing on the railway station and you have got a fortunate wife and 3 children, and they are all uncontrolled, running here and there. Diwali time you are going by train and your wife goes and stands before the stall seeing the books, which books she has to buy. The children are running. You have got at least 6-7 bags and you are supposed to take care. And that time the train comes and you want to see which my compartment is. That time somebody comes and asks you, excuse me, can you tell me how to sit for meditation? You sit for meditation. Because you are already so much active. Prana Spanda Nirodhanam. It is for this purpose we are told, do your spiritual practice early in the morning. Because you have not yet become anybody. Before becoming anybody, finish your meditation, finish your japa, finish your whatever you have to do before you become anybody. Because in the deep sleep you are nobody. Very good. Continue that nobody status till your prayers, your meditation, your japa is over. Mind will definitely cooperate. Because that time, prana spanda, the mind has, the body has not become too active. Prana spanda nirodhat. Second, satsangadva. Next is satsanga. Now satsanga is what we are doing in Prempuri is not enough. I'll tell you one or two examples. There is somebody in probably in Melbourne. I have never seen that lady. A Christian lady probably. Kennedy is her name. So she comes. And she says, Swamiji, my children tell me, Mom, your Swami has come. Because my iPad is always there and I start and then do my work. Then he said, without any special efforts, I have been doing it as a rule. take topic by topic. Like Bhagavad Gita I have completed, then this Vivek Chudamani I have completed, then Ashtavakra Gita, systematically, not something like that. And now I can tell you with confidence that I have no questions. That is Satsanga. Because whenever you expose yourself on a regular basis, see friends, I'll tell you about what is my lifestyle. Every time I take some new text for study, and that keeps me involved. I just can't brush. Bhagavad Gita, you touch me, it will come out. It's not a big deal. Upanishad is not a big deal. See? So the mind has to be fully got involved into it. And this can happen only if we are methodical, we are regular. Then it is called as Satsangadva. So, Pranaspanda Nirodhat, Satsanga, then Vasana Tyagat. Vasana Tyagat means let us be extremely aware that when we are interacting in this world, are we depositing the two types of impressions on our mind, namely likes and dislikes. Vasana is nothing but the dents on our mind. Certain things we like, certain things we don't like. Then we come under the influence of those likes and dislikes. And thereafter, our life is guided by those personal likes and dislikes. Therefore, Vasana Tyagat, that means more than what we like in life, we should practice what is right and not what we like. What we like may not be right, and what is right may not be liked by us. For example, getting up early in the morning. Come on, give some other example. Don't you have any other example, getting up early in the morning? Are you teasing us or what? Because we are all Surya Vamshi. We honor the sun. And if the sun comes, how can you just get up like that? Therefore, Satsangat Vasana Tyagat. Then the fourth one is Hari Charana Bhakti Yoga. Now Hari Charana Bhakti Yoga, here be very attentive. How can we make it everywhere? Yad yad karma karomi tattad akhilam shambho tavaradhana. So your karma becomes a karma rog when I am doing notion is strengthened. When the karma is leading towards karma yoga, when you are doing the things not for your personal benefit but for the benefit of the world, you get into the social service. Then the third thing, whenever we are doing any karma, yad karma karomi, whatever I am doing, oh Lord, it is thy worship. And when we worship the Lord, we do the worship cheerfully, happily, joyfully, unless you are a paid Panditji in a temple. A Panditji who is paid in a temple, he can never do the puja happily. See? Because it is his duty, he is doing a job. It is not a job. Life is not enough to be duty oriented. It is duty, don't give too much importance. We have to transcend the duty orientation and enter the devotion orientation. Duty orientation will bind us in this world. And when we are practicing devotion, then you transcend the duties. And then you do not fall in the purview of the law of karma. A devotee is not supposed to follow the law of karma, because whatever is happening is Hari Ichcha. Where is the question? I have done or I want to do. See, friends. And if this is sincerely being practiced in life, the net result will be we will never be frustrated on account of anything that we do or that happens in our life. A devotee can never be frustrated. And a person who is engaged in activities, he is bound to be frustrated. Because when he is doing activities, I is born. You remember I told you one story many years before. It was actually not a story but my personal experience. One elderly man, those days, he was something 78 or 80 in between. And we happened to stay in the same house in Calcutta. Our host was common. Now the host is also no more. So this person, he asked me, what do you do? I said, I talk on Gita. Do you think your Gita people listen? I said, no, I don't think. Then why do you talk? I said, if I don't talk, I don't get food. I have to talk. Only for earning bread I am talking, no other. Then he said, I asked him, what do you do, Babuji? Oh, he started his story. I had done this thing, I had done that, I had done this. My whole life I spent for the welfare of the people in the northeastern India, and they are so useless. Now they want to kill me. Therefore I am here. So bitterness. And then the world is like a dog's tail. When he said like this, biting his teeth, the dog was there. So I asked him, Babuji, the beauty of the dog is because of the crookedness of the tail. The world is beautiful as it is. If you see the rivers coming from the mountains, they look so beautiful because they are like that. You will see, after the dams are constructed and the canals are built, straight lines, do they look good? The world is beautiful as it is, provided we stop seeing the world and start discovering the divinity in and through pulsating in this world. Then, whatever we are doing, we are not doing a duty. Duty limits our field. I have duty towards my mother. I have duty towards my father. I have duty towards my wife. I have duty towards my children. I have duty towards my nation. I have duty towards my religion. Duty is limiting our sphere. Devotion is expanding. It is limitless. See, friends. Therefore, when the duties are converted into devotion, then a real seeker is born. Therefore, Hari Charana Bhakti Yoga. Now, there are two types of people who talk about only doing good to others. And that is what gives them satisfaction. I have done this thing good to others. Forget about it. If something good is happening, someone else is doing it. Nimitta matra bhavasavvesachin. In the 11th chapter, Bhagavan Krishna tells Arjuna, I have already killed them. You are just an excuse that Arjuna has killed the people in the war. See, friends, everyone in this world gets as designed by his will. And he chooses whomsoever he wants. Like, when I go to so many places, somebody takes the bag in my hand, or somebody, wants to give me chair like this. Somebody wants to close the, door of the car. Because they want to do something. Now, for no reason, when somebody wants to take the bag, no, why I am taking? Why Swamiji? I said, why you are, I am my own boss. Then to some other, you take the bag. You gave it to him, not to me. Yes. क्या करना है कर लो. See, friends, he decides. Who are we? See, friends, more than the giver, the receiver is important, not the giver. You may want to give, but if there is nobody to receive, to whom will you give? And therefore, devotion means whatever we are doing, it is according to His will and not according to our obsession. Bhakti Yoga. And this is Bhakti, devotion in action. Now, devotion in discipline. This devotion in discipline I learned from one old lady in Pune. She is no more. She died at the age of 99. One shot. So, she used to be in her room and she was L-shaped like this. Old lady, and so busy, she had no time for anybody. Morning onwards she will start. Finish her bath, go outside, L-shape, with a small teaspoonful of water, and with the flower she will give bath to Lord Sun. Then take a teaspoonful of milk, give bath to the sun with the milk. Even that flower may not dip into the water. She is doing it. And her grandson one day told me this. Swamiji, Daddy Ma is just doing all these things are useless. I said, you shut up, I'll give you one. Don't teach what she is doing. Do you know what she is doing? See? Actions are outside, effect is inside. See, friends, that is devotion. When actions are outside and effects are seen outside, it is social service. See? And then she will do the puja, arti. And every day she will read Bhagavad to Bhagwan Krishna. She was making him listen his own story. Every day. And nothing in this world could attract her. So when her grandson was due to be married, he said, okay, शादी करके आ जाओ, दिखा देना लड़की को. Why should I come for the marriage? Because that is my puja time. For her, puja was more important than the marriage of a grandchild. See, completely involved. So, it is now devotion working on your mind. The mind becomes saturated by divine thought. Be attentive. Saturation with the divine thought is equal to uncaused happiness that we experience 24/7. Uncaused happiness means no complaints. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati, doesn't bring the past in the present, na kankshati, doesn't worry about the future. Samaha sarveshu bhuteshu, equanimity towards all beings. Mat param bhaktim labhate. He is qualified for para bhakti, means knowledge matured is called as para bhakti. Knowledge and bhakti, the devotion perfected, is called as knowledge. At the end, knowledge and devotion, they are not two. Therefore, prana spanda nirodhat, then Satsangat, then Vasana Tyagat, Hari Charana Bhakti Yogat. And when you get the knack of it, then you will be all the time in that divine intoxication. The divine intoxication does not derail us, but we attain perfection in alertness, in vigilance, and in quietness. Three things. When the mind is quiet, alert, and vigilant, the devotion is acting on the mind, working on the mind. Thus, if you see, all the four things, they are working on the mind. Prana Spanda Nirodha for the mind. Satsanga for educating the mind. Vasana Tyagat for the purification of the mind. Hari Charana Bhakti Yoga for the dissolving the mind in him. Karma and yoga is I predominant. Devotion is he predominant. And knowledge is that where I and he merge. Then alone we have started really working on our mind. After this is done, now we enter the most important topic, what Bhagwan said, Galakashtam. Galakashtam is to control the naughty animal. Some wooden log is tied down, so that Vairagya Galakashtam is now being discussed. Para Gruha Gruhini Putra Dravinam Agame Vinasheva Katite Harsha Vishadau Kimva Syatam Kshanam Sthatuhu. If you are in somebody's house only for just while going, you are thirsty, and say, excuse me, can you give me a glass of water? Yes, yes, please take. And that time, if something good or bad happens in that house, do we get involved? Go ahead. Exactly the same way. We are on our journey. We are not meant to be here for all the time. Last time I told you, we are here for a vacation. When your vacation is over, go back. So going back to our home is called as death in this dirty world. It is not death. See, friends, our condition is like the girl. You know, this one girl, now who is in USA, she was in our Bombay girl. So when she got married, I used to receive every day a phone from her. Swamiji, Swamiji. So I told her, hey, you are spending money unnecessarily. What is there to talk? I don't want to talk to you. Stop the phone. She used to spend $300-400 a month only for dialing. And the time passed. Now 10 years. No, even if I phone, she says, Swamiji, excuse me, I'll call you later. And she never called. In the same manner, we have come here in Sasural. So when we came first to Sasural, then like the child is constantly crying. He is crying because he has come back from the divine place. And after staying here, slowly, now everything has become so important that the origin is forgotten. Therefore here, Vairagya has to be learned. Kathite harshe vishadau kimva syatam kshanam satuhu. The one who has come for a moment, will he get involved in what is happening in somebody's house? In the same manner, daivat hitam gatam va yam kinchit vishayam idyam alpam va no tushan na sidan viksha gruheshu atithi nivaset. In the same manner, like the Atithi, he stays in that house, but he doesn't get involved in anybody's business, what is happening, what is not happening. In the same manner, we are in this world only for a short time. This is one particular sadhana Lord is getting done through me. You know what is this sadhana? Wherever I reach, the first thought comes in my mind when I have to go. Not how long I have to stay. So I am more keen to leave than to stay. Now by this practice, I am keen to leave this world. There is no way. What will you do here? See, friends. Therefore, never get too much involved with anybody or anything in this world. So, mamata abhimana shunyaha vishayeshu parangmukha purushaha tishtannapi nija sadane na badhyate karma bhi kwapi. So now here is the lifestyle given which will promote our dispassion in our life. First, mamata abhimana shunya purushaha. Mamata abhimana shunya, you have seen, mamata is towards things and beings. With reference to the things, it is possessiveness and parigraha, collecting the things. And with reference to the people or the beings, it is the relations. And living beings need not be only human beings, they could be dogs also. I don't know what is going to happen to my doggy if I go to Haridwar. Because Haridwar can wait, doggy cannot wait. Don't get involved in anybody or anything in this world beyond limit. So, mamata abhimana shunyaha. Now this is with reference to the mamata. Abhimana shunyaha. Abhimana means with reference to body, ahanta and all that is related to the body. In some place, I will not tell you where, one nice educated person, he came and he said, Swamiji, when I got married, we had a big problem in our family. What happened? No, because I was getting married, ours was love marriage. I said, then what is the problem? In love marriage, if there is no problem, then it is like a sandwich for the breakfast, sandwich for the lunch, sandwich for the dinner, where there is neither sand nor which. If it is a love marriage, then one mother told her son, if you marry that girl from North India, he was a South Indian. If you marry that girl from North India, you will have to cross my dead body. He said, Mommy, then I will be too old to get married. So, when we are living in this world, do not get too much involved. Somebody wants to get married, thank God, go away, finish it out. Otherwise, we make our life miserable and everybody's life miserable. Mamata abhimana shunyaha. Now this young couple, they were telling me, do you know what was the problem in our marriage? I said, I don't know. Actually, we belong to different castes. Yeah, how does it matter? No, that was the big problem. See, we are mochi and they are washermen. How can we marry? Now look here. I was thinking, they are telling that we are Hindus, they are Christians, or we are Muslims, they are Hindus, but they are very serious on this. We are mochis and they are washermen. Okay. Now tell me, is there anything that you should be suffering in this world. Big jokes happening every moment. And when they are telling me like this, then I was also serious. Really, yeah. Then I said, but by the way, what is the meaning of Moshi? Well, I don't know. So it is not that we have abhiman, that I am rich, I am beautiful, I am awful, I am a Hindu, I am a Muslim, I am a Brahmin. No. Abhiman is getting caught up with anything foolish is abhiman. One more example I gave you long time back. Now that boy must be married also. When he was hardly 10 years or 8 years, we are sitting together. I said, hey, good Jew, what do you like? Swamiji, I am not a good Jew. I said, then what are you? Oh, I am a Lohana Kachchi. Then I asked him, do you know how to tie Kachchi? I don't know. Do you know what is the meaning of Lohana? I don't know. Then who are you? Lohana Kachchi. Look here. This is called as abhiman. We get lost in non-essentials in life. Therefore, mamata abhimana shunyaha. Now suppose you are a Gujarati and you have got a heart attack and you have to be operated. Will you say, I want only Gujarati, I am not Baroda Gujarati, Ahmedabadi only I want. But the best doctor is Lohana Kachchi. No, sorry. No. Therefore, mamata abhimana shunyaha, then vishayeshu parangmukha. Vishayeshu parangmukha means let us not lead our life only for possessing and creating relations in this world. See, Bhagwan Shankaracharya writes in his Bhaja Govindam, how simple. Shatrau mitre putre bandhau ma kuru yatnam vigraha sandham. Don't create friends, enemies, relations, possessions. Then you are walking the spiritual path. Once somebody asked me, Swamiji, sometimes I feel, you are my brother, sometimes I feel you are my father, sometimes I feel you are my friend. What should I call you? I fired one Hindi song. प्यार को प्यार ही रहने दो, रिश्तों के नाम न दो. Don't create any samsara around you. Mamata abhimana shunyaha vishayeshu parangmukha. Then tishthan api nija sadane. Then you may be staying in your own house, doesn't matter, you don't have to go anywhere. On the contrary, I am very much vocal about it. Never go to any ashram. Make your own house as an ashram. See, the words in our scriptures are Brahmacharya ashram, Grihastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, Sannyasa ashram. See? Then how to make the Grihasthi into Grihastha ashram? Call me for lunch or dinner. Wherever there is a Babaji, it is an ashram. You don't require any wisdom. But if we imagine, no, I want to give up everything and I am going to go and stay in the ashram. Who goes to the mental hospitals? Healthy people. Those who are thrown away from the house, they go in the ashram. And why they are thrown away from the house? Because we meddle in everybody's life. Don't get involved with your children, with your grandchildren. You have destroyed your life. Let them destroy their life. No, but we want to help them destroy. Don't do that. See? So, tishthan api nija sadane na badhyate karma bhi kwapi. And then whatever you are doing, nothing will disturb you, nothing will bind you. Then you start living a life very lightly. Don't take seriously. One of my friends in Delhi, many years before, both of them are not there. His wife died first. So after about 10-15 days, when I went to see him, I spoke about everything. Those days, this in front of Birla Mandir, the government quarters were only ground floor, not even first floor. Old time, very nice house. Everything is destroyed, multi-story, 30, 40 stories. So I used to go and stay there, very nice place. So when his wife died, I went to see him after 10, 15 days. Except his wife and her death, I spoke on every topic. And then when I was going, after eating samosa, kachori, chai, everything, he said, you are a real Swami. I said, what mistake did I do? No, you did not make me cry, because anybody who has come to see me, they will talk about my wife and how unfortunate I am, how good she was. Actually, I should have died, not she. And they make me miserable. And when I cry, then they feel, I fulfilled my duty. They go. But you did not make me cry on my wife's death. Therefore you are a Swami. But how did you do that? I said, look here. First of all, I don't know whether you are happy or miserable after your wife. See, it is not necessary that the husband is miserable when the wife dies. He just hugged me. He said, you are too terrible. Friends, live in this world lightly. Don't take things too serious. Then alone the truth is manifesting through you. Otherwise, we go to the temple and all the time. Bhagavan will never look at you. Like when you are in a congregation, where our mind goes, somebody, not any of them, you don't want to look at me. Put a curtain. That's why Bhagavan has a curtain. Narayan. Mamata bhimana shunyah vishayeshu parangmukha purushah tishthannapi nija sadane na badhyate karma vikvapi. So whatever karma is doing, he will never be bound by the karma, and this is what is called as the real meaning of dispatch. Therefore don't go anywhere. Stay wherever you are, and only spiritual practice we have to do is be happy. If you practice that sincerely, you have learnt everything. And if you are miserable because nobody is giving attention to you, then you are a samsari, and samsari is the one who has to be miserable. Like, बाबा जी होके नहीं सोया और संसारी होके नहीं रोया, संभव है? ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम.